evil Israeli distraction that's going on right now, which is absolutely horrific with what we're seeing. But Lewis says it's a distraction to many other stories that are hidden, that's going on behind the scenes right now, that's not being reported. Now, just before we begin, you can subscribe to my Instagram channel at nicholas.veniamin, where you can follow all of my news updates. Lewis, thank you so much for joining me once again. How are you and what have you been up to?
Doing good. Doing a lot of traveling. Been working towards finalization of the last troop tour and working hard in documentaries and some other things. So it's been pretty amazing lately. And then, what's going on in Israel, it's a lot different than it's being portrayed.
I've always been very confused about the war in Israel and all of this going on. So why? So obviously, Joe Biden has given 6 billion to Iran, and Iran is funding the Hamas terrorists attacks in Israel. What's going on there? Why would Iran want to do that? Is it Iran or is it the deep state behind Iran?
It's total deep state. So what people need to understand is the goal here is World War III. That's the goal. The deep
But it's
state.
been going on. It's been going on under Obama with the ISIS. I mean, we could say that was World War III. So what's difference from
Yeah, it could be World War IV, right? So, but the goal here right now is World War III because the deep state is just getting crushed everywhere, and the only thing that's going to be able to be part of their survival is if there's a world war that everybody can get behind, right? So I believe there's deep state actors involved. So Netanyahu, to me, is 100% a deep state actor. You have the leader of Hamas, deep state actor. The Ayatollah in Iran is a deep state actor. They're all on the same team. They play as if they're against each other. That's the game. So what we're doing is right now we're creating a intentional major division going on. So what's happening is, if you notice, in the East, all Arab countries, including now Turkey, are coming to the support of Palestine. Even the UN, which is really, really weird, are showing support for Palestine. Chechnya, the president of Chechnya, is showing support for Palestine. And as we know, all the West is showing support for Israel. It's not an accident. That's part of the exact division that they're looking for. But what we need to pay attention to is President Trump has had, I think, about 40 to 50 truths on his Truth Social platform since the attack on Israel from Hamas happened. He had one in support of Israel and another one kind of questioning things, which I thought was very interesting. But the most interesting is he spoke yesterday and he was talking about the snake within, and he was referring to Joe Biden and our border. But several times while he was talking about that, he says, and it applies to Israel. It applies to Israel. It applies to Israel. So people on the face of it, President Trump has to play the game, and he's saying we support Israel. He's telling us that the snake within, and you read the poem again, which he's done probably 100 times, the snake within is within Israel. It's an inside job, Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the reality is you've got the Iron Dome. You have the most protected airspace in one of the best militaries in the whole world within Israel. Yet people can fly in, glide in without getting taken out, without getting shot out of the air. It's absolutely ridiculous. On the southern entry point, most people don't know that Israel, right before it happened, moved all their troops off the southern entry point and sent them to the northern entry point, and Hamas came through the southern entry point. They were a water invasion also. You're talking about the most protected country in the world got hit from every aspect. It's impossible. It doesn't happen. It was allowed to happen so they can start World War III. Now, I'm not saying a false flag, which it is, doesn't mean there's real death and destruction. There is, because Netanyahu doesn't care about his people. The deep state doesn't care about the Israeli people. So, of course, a whole bunch of people died and got slaughtered in Israel. And the worst of the worst within Hamas are chopping off heads and doing all the bad things. And people are dying in Palestine, innocent civilians on both sides. But that doesn't mean it's not a false flag. It's still a false flag. Now they're going to add in all the elements. As we saw in Ukraine, we're going to see the fake videos and the fake destruction and all this stuff because they need this distraction. I said within an hour of when this happened, I said, this is a massive MK Ultra event. And I'm shocked considering what we know, how many people jumped on the pro-Israeli bandwagon so quickly. Immediately, there's a lot more going on here. But as Saul Alinsky would tell you, never let a crisis go to waste. So this is planned.
Do you believe that people